Okay, so most of my yoga videos that I'm going to do are going to be like full practices or mini practices and voiceover and things like that. But I wanted to do one that was really accessible for a lot of people, and one that focused on some poses that calm the central nervous system. And I just do these, throughout the day when I have anxiety or I feel, one of my symptoms coming on, a flare or something. I will just go into one of these poses and breathe. So I'm gonna make this as basic as possible, and like I said, as accessible as possible. And so even if you've never done yoga before, you don't need to know a thing about it. You don't need to know anything at all. Just clear your mind. And so as you can see, I'm just using a blanket. Just use a blanket. I will be using my mat kind of as a prop, but you could use anything, a book, a pillow. A pillow would be great. Really, another blanket, fold it up. You could use anything. So you don't need any special anything, and so I have two main rules for yoga. The first one is, if it hurts, don't do it. And the second one is, laugh at yourself. Learn to laugh at yourself. Humility is everything, and no one's perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect, and there's no such thing as wrong. Screw all those people that are like going to these yoga classes and like, oh, well, adjust your finger just a millimeter this way, and you're meh, shut up. That's not what it is. It's about your personal body, your personal experience, and how it feels to you, how it is aligning with you, and how you're resonating with it in that moment, in that day, which could be different day to day, moment to moment. So that said, I will do a whole different video on yoga and the central nervous system, but we're just gonna start with a very short practice. And basically, we're just going to start by breathing, which we all know how to do. We're gonna take nice deep breaths. Our inhales are gonna come in and up into our chest, and then our exhales are gonna come from our chest down and through our belly, right? And I wanna start doing this just through the nose. So we'll do three breaths in and out. And really feel that belly empty. Again, in and out. One more, in and out. And so that's kind of the breath that you want to maintain throughout the whole thing. Make your inhales even and your exhales even in length. And we'll get into more complicated breathing techniques and all that stuff in good time. But for now, that's all you need to do. Just breathe. Okay? So the first thing I want to do is stretch a little bit. Right? We're gonna do, 4 or 5 poses and hold them for a little bit. They're gonna be very relaxing. Like I said, accessible. Your prop will help, your blanket, pillow, mat, book, whatever you're using. Okay? But first, let's just stretch and breathe, okay? So arms up, inhale. And then they come back down, exhale. And we'll do it again. Inhale. And exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And just sit with that for a second. And I realize that sitting cross-legged might be uncomfortable for some people. You can sit on something, like I said, a book, a mat or something, so that your hip flexors have a little more space. Okay. Pillow, sit up against something, just be comfortable. We'll do a little bit of side stretching before we start in our poses. So let's inhale, your left arm up, I'm mirroring you, over, and we'll look up, and then exhale, look down, and then inhale, back to center. Other side, inhale, looking up, exhale, look down, and inhale, back to center. One more time on each side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale here. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Okay. So we're going to start our first central nervous system pose by putting our feet together. Can you see the soles of your feet together? Yeah. And if this is uncomfortable, again, you can prop up with blocks, or prop your bum up with something, and it can be out here. Just make sure your knees don't hurt your feet. You don't feel any strain in your knees. Okay. So we're just gonna sit here like this, relax the shoulders, lift through the base of your spine and kind of feel it pulling through the crown of your head. And like I said, roll back and relax the shoulders in a couple breaths. Now if you can, you have the mobility, take an inhale, lifting, and then an exhale, hinging at the waist to fold forward. And then just kind of keep your neck straight as you look down, and take a couple breaths here. And this is a nice place where if you have a pillow or a block or something, you can also rest your forehead on it. Or if you can come down, you can rest your forehead on your hands. Go on, go lay down. Okay, we'll inhale and come up. All right, easy enough, right? Okay, our next one, we're going to turn and we're going to lie down on our back. So I'm gonna get my prop ready. I'm gonna lie down on my back. So you can get there however you need to, work your way down. And we're going to do a lift in our pelvis. So we want to relax the shoulders down again. Lift the head a little bit so you have some space under here. And then we're going to lift the pelvis up here. And if this is uncomfortable, try not to move your neck from side to side. You don't want to hurt yourself. If this is uncomfortable or too difficult, put your prop underneath there, like my mat that I can't quite get. There we go. And I'm just gonna rest on it like this, with my shoulders and my heart open and breathing. 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 We'll take 2 more breaths. And we'll come up. So lift, remove your prop. And these are poses you can stay in for as long as you need to, whenever you need to use them. I obviously need to play with my dog. And the other one, we're gonna do the bound angle again, but lying down, so the soles of the feet together. One hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And breathe. 5 breaths, so that was 1. Really in through the belly. Let it roll up into your chest. And as you exhale, let the chest roll and the belly exhale. Exhale. Okay, so that's another really good calming central nervous system yoga pose. Tosie, get out of the way. So our next one is going to be inverted again. Tosie, come on, go. You brought me both your frisbees. Oh my. Okay, so I'm going to just, you can lie how you were and bring your feet straight up and lay like this. Your shoulders open, palms to the sky. Try not to move your head, and you want that space right here. And breathe. If this is uncomfortable or difficult and you don't have that mobility, it's okay. You can turn and use a wall. Right? And remember to take those nice, slow, equal, deep breaths. And last exhale. And then from here, another pose that's very similar. We're going to use our prop again. We're going to put it underneath our sacrum, where it was with the bridge. But this time, we're going to lift our legs. And that's it. And you can do this up against a wall too. Deep breaths. Last exhale. All right. Let's move out of this into the final pose we're gonna do. So you can get up however you want to get up. Do a little rockarola. But you know, you can wiggle around, squirm, whatever you need to do. It's fine. So the last one is the child's pose, and there are so many ways to do this. But I'm gonna do a supported child's pose with my mat. So I'm gonna have it here, and I want my knees kind of by it. Okay. Then I'm gonna come down, and my big toes are touching. They don't have to be. That's just because my knees are out a little bit. I'm gonna come down and relax on it, and you can relax with your arms behind you. You can relax with your arms in front of you. You can relax with them like on your neck. Whatever is comfortable for you. Okay? And if you don't want to do this supported, you can have your knees apart with your big toes touching. You can have your knees together. Again, arms back, forward, in a prayer on your neck. Okay. Deep breaths. This is my favorite, just because I feel like I'm connecting everything, making a big circuit through my body. My hands are touching, my toes are touching. My breath is moving throughout me and calming my entire central nervous system. This is my go-to pose when I feel something coming on, like a convulsion episode, one of those non-epileptic seizures, where I start to feel the paralysis coming on or something. It is my go-to pose. So it wasn't really a practice, like I said, but when I start doing the practice videos, I will be doing more voiceovers, and they will be more Ashtanga style based, because what my practice is a very traditional Ashtanga practice, but I'm not gonna do videos on that. Maybe just a couple, but that'll be pretty far down the road, or for those who already have an established Ashtanga practice. But there's so many other types of yoga, simple breathing exercises, simple poses, things we can do and that we can do videos on and learn about. But this one is especially helpful for calming the central nervous system. So I hope that this helps you in any times of anxiety, panic, just when you feel anything like that coming on, dizziness, dissociation, I get vertigo, anything like that. These poses really help, and they're really grounding. And yeah. Remember to laugh at yourself. Please.